Should be this island. Now, what do they want me to do with this island? A book. Okay, so I'm just here for a book. That means I should go to the cabinet then? Or to those locked rooms. Oh, from a lot of guys must be talking about this solicitor East, an old mate of mine. When me old pirate crew dumped me here and sailed off into the sunset, he let me stay with him in this here cabin and saved me life. So he did. He ain't around no more though. Died a couple years back. A bright sunny day it was. He was sitting there staring out to sea just like always and then gone just like that. You are made of it too then. Sorry, I got bad news for you. There's stuff in that chest over there if you want to take something to remember him by. There we go. That's exactly what the mermaid wants. There's a note scrawled on the title page of the solicitor statues. I take a closer look. I hereby bequeath my prize edicts unto you, my most honorable apprentice. May they aid you in delivering justice according to Nautican law. Right, I'll give it to that mermaid. I also saw there were 2 locked rooms. I don't recall if I went to them or not. Yeah, apparently I've missed that barrel before. Well, there's at least one room with a locked door that could most likely open. The other one, well, I still have the power to open regular doors for some reason. Falcon Blade. What the? Why do I get so many Falcon Blades? I got a Falcon Blade for clearing the mini medals. And then I also get a Falcon Blade just from a red door? Why? Why would I want 2 Falcon Blades? Like, I know you can make the protagonist a sword user, and Sylvando, and Eric, and Hendrik, but still, I don't need 2 Falcon Blades. Because why would I want all 4 of them to use a sword? Well, I could instead make them all unique, and be one of them use a sword, and then the other 3 use a different weapon. Right, and the other one was just Lonalulu, right? Yeah, just Lonalulu. Right, let's go under the sea again. Well, I'll have to test out that theory if it gives you 4 attacks, dual-wielding Falcon Blade. But the only one you would want to dual-wield Falcon Blades, though, would be... like... Eric or Sylvando. Because the protagonist gets the Sword of Light, which I'm guessing you have to use the Sword of Light, so he can't dual-wield 2 Falcon Blades. So then there becomes an issue of, like, you know, you have to make Sylvando or Eric be another sword user. Oh, wait. Right, that quest is like... I have to be a fish for that. Yeah, I remember. Alright. Have to talk to the queen so she can make me the fish again. It's neat that she can do this, just make you the fish again, but also it's like, why? Why can't they just... Ugh. The camera in this place when you're a fish is not good. See if I remember how high up this quest giver was. Right, this is not the quest giver, but you know, there's a shiny spot over here. Platinum ore. You know, I've seen enough Dr. Stone to know that platinum is a very versatile metal. And we should be careful about stumbling upon platinum just so casually under the sea. Is this the rooftop? What? Then where's the quest giver? If that was the top. Oh, right. I remember now. It wasn't actually high up with the thing, it was inside a house or something. Yeah, that's what it was. I still needed to be a fish, though. So I could talk to this turtle. No, wait, no. That was not the quest. Wait. Wait a minute. Where's the mermaid, then? She the mermaid? No. Right, that's how it was. She was lower down in the frickin'... That's where she was. Welcome back. Did you trip to shore? Did you? Yes, yes. You didn't find my mentor on the island to the west, only this casebook stashed inside his bedside treasure chest? It's exactly what I need, my mentor's legal knowledge. It's sure to help me more than all the stuff I learned in college. Let's see, one defends a charge of criminal fin bidding, or fin biting. There is an argument all able lawyers should be citing. Per se, that sharks, the enemies of all fish kind, abhor feasting on fish with nibbled fins. Res ipsa loquitri. That word. A fish with nibbled fins is less likely to be predated. But how does that fact help my client be exonerated? Wait, I think I understand. By chewing on the fish, he spared it from becoming a much bigger creature's dish. The actions of the merman should not cause him to be sued. In fact, the plaintiff owes him a deep debt of gratitude. I'm sure this line of reasoning will spare my client prison. When faced with such sense, the judge can make but one decision. Thank you so much, Luminary. Here, this is for you. With all you've done for me, this is the least I can do. Sovereign Seal. Alright, so let's see here. I technically get the Falcon Blades before I get the Blade of Light. But some of this easy to get, you just need the Magic Key, which you can get before going to the Tree of Life, and the other one is reward for collecting mini medals, and I believe you can get enough before having to go to the Tree of Life. I mean, yes, but, you know, if one didn't collect these Falcon Blades, ergo by doing a blind playthrough, you would get them in the point where it's not really good. Because you would have to know to look there to be like, ah, wait, I should exchange my mini medals now because I will get Falcon Blade. And also, again, even if you do get it before the Sword of Light, once you do get the Sword of Light, you'll be left with 2 Falcon Blades, which, to be useful, have to force Eric or Savando to be a sword wielder to keep using the Falcon Blades, because otherwise we'll have to sell them because you have to, you can only use 1 Falcon Blade because, oh no, the Luminary has a Sword of Light. Meaning you're not allowed to have a dagger user with Sylvando, or not a boomerang user with Eric. Because I don't think Hendrik has the power to dual wield. At least I don't think so. Maybe Hendrik does have the power to dual wield, but I haven't seen dual wield. Alright, good. Now those quests are done. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 quests remaining. Let's warp ourselves out of here and try to get to Lonalulu. Alright, I remember how you get to Lonalulu. Alright, so Hendrik does have dual wielding in his axe. Point still stands, you have to make him be a sword dual wielder instead of a great sword or axe user. And I don't think you're allowed to mix to be like, oh, one hand axe, the other hand a sword? Or maybe you are allowed to do that, I don't know. But it would be odd if you were allowed to mishmatch the weapons. Since the others can't, to my knowledge. Please, game. Stop being like this. Thank you. That's what I dislike the most about the sea. The random encounters and the fact that so often do you fail to flee for no reason at all. I don't understand why it always takes 3+ tries to flee in this ocean. I don't want to fight a giant octopus. Thank you. Don't want to fight an octopus. All I want to do is get to Lonalulu. That's it. I don't want to fight anything. Ah,
Stay focused.
dang. Of course, it had hit me too with the crack. Of course. Of course. So I said to that. The f Thank you. So great, Savando lost his pep because the game just went, nah, you're not allowed to flee. You have to die first before you're allowed to flee. Actual nonsense. I was worried this guy give me one last encounter before I reach Lonalulu. Now, why do you want, little kid? Holy mackerel, you scared me, Uncle. For a minute there, I thought you were one of the fishermen from the village. Uncle? Why did the kid call me an uncle? It's not even common for Japanese to call people uncle. You usually call someone like big bro or senpai. Why did he call me uncle? They ain't none too fond of mermaids, see? If they found out I was hanging out with one, they'd tan my hide good. I came here to fish and found her washed up on the shore. Seems like she ain't feeling too good. She's got a frog in her throat the size of a coconut. She can hardly talk. The... what? Wait. A frog? The size of a coconut? Kid, do you know how big a coconut is? If she were to have that type of frog stuck in her throat, she would have choked and died. We humans cannot fit the size of a coconut in our throats. The kahunas always taught me that telling us a mermaid ain't welcome in Lonalulu. I feel so sorry for her coughing and croaking like that. You just can't just let her get, can't just tell her to get gone. You couldn't help me out, could you? I gotta help her fix up her throat before the fisherman found out she's here. Have you ever heard of a dulcet dulse? It's kind of a seaweed so soft and slippery it can soothe a sore throat. Wiki wiki. Could you go get me some? Really, thanks, Uncle. I heard you big city folk can be real cold fish. But you're super kind. I'll never trust what the grown-ups say ever again. You don't have to take it that far, kid. Just because I happen to be an exception to what the adults say doesn't mean that they always speak lies. Come on, kid. Let me talk about the seaweed. It only grows on this one little island near some country up north that's crazy cold. Seriously, they have snow there and everything. All you gotta do is get some and then give it to the mermaid. Aloha, hui hu, uncle. Come back soon. Hey. So that's the end of that. Even after you're done with the story of Lonalulu, its quests are just as dumb as the story was for Lonalulu. It's like they just didn't know what to do with Lonalulu. Couldn't even have quests that made sense. Oh hey friend, you've come at the just right time. Truth be told, we've been hauling in nothing but seawater lately. I tried offering up some fresh fish to Kanaloa, the god of the sea, and praying for his blessing like our ancestors used to when times were tough but no dice. Guess I left it too late. Things have been so bad lately. All I could spare was a single sardine. They ain't gonna fill a baby's belly, let alone a sea god's. Now, if we could offer up some Canalomari made from a tentacular tentacle, that'd get me in Canaloa's good books for sure. But I ain't no fighter. There's no way I could take one of those things down. You, on the other hand, are a tentacular fighting fiend. You could totally bring one down in just the right way to turn his tentacles into Canalomari, right? If the fish don't come back soon, the whole village could be history. You're the only one who we can rely on, friend. Please bring me some Canalomari before it's too late. Pentarang. Sure, I'll get a new boomerang out of this. You will, mahalo, friend. You really are the savior of Lonalulu. You did it once, and you'll do it again. I just know you will. Tentaculars tend to hang out around the coasts to the north, near the little island east of Svadras. But it ain't just a question of beating one to a pulp. To make one offering fit for God, you have to finish one off with a pep power called Temper Tantrum. Dang it, I need to use pep powers for this. It's cross between Flame Slash and Hot Lick. Make sure you had your friends know how to pull off both these moves before you go sailing off into tentacular infested waters. Then when you find one, land a finishing blow with a tempered tantrum and you'll slice and sear tentacles with that perfect plateful calamari. So this one is different from the other pep power ones. Because the other ones just told me to use the skill. This one, though, specifically wants me to deal the finishing blow with this pep power. So if he doesn't die from that pep power skill, I'm screwed. And also, a freaking course, it had to be the pep power between me and Sylvando, just when Sylvando died and lost his pep power, of course. It could have been a pep power between, I don't know, Jade and Gramps. Nope, it had to be the frickin' pep power with Sylvando when he just recently got killed off by stupid random enemies and lost his pep power. Should I say that? Well, let's see what this third quest in Lonalulu is all about. Lives of people here, there ain't no place like Lonalulu for an old-timer to live out his autumn years. Oh hey friend, looks like you ain't from around here, a traveler, huh? Good for you. When I was your age, I traveled the world too. I can see that thirst for adventure in your eyes. Man, I got into so many scraps back then. You too, right? It looks like you know how to handle yourself though. But adventuring ain't about looking for trouble, it's about finding yourself. Leave home a kid and you come back a man. Guess it must have been fate that brought us here, cause I know just the thing to send you racing down that road to manhood. Far to the west of here, there's an island of giants. And nightclubbers are some of the worst. All you gotta do is beat one of those using a certain special skill. Hey, what do you say? Want me to make a man of yourself, kid? Sure. That's the spirit kid, okay then. Let me fill you in. The special skill you gotta use is a pep power called Buff Buff. It's, how can I put this? Actually, maybe you're better off finding out for yourself. Once you've learned it, you'll see what it's all about. You'll be needing to unleash a move called Unbridled Blade. You'll be needing to unleash a move called Unbridled Blade. You really gotta put your back into that one. And one of your friends, well, she'll need to use a different part of her body. Hey, I'll say no more. Once you work worked out how to use it, get yourself over to that island of giants and take a nightclubber down with Buff Buff. Next time I see you, you'll be you'll be well on your way to manhood. Makai Pomaika, kid, good luck. Seriously, Lonalulu? Seriously? 2 pet power quests in Lonalulu. Come on. Alright, do I have the ability to do this Buff Buff? Uh... I... I need to see who it is about, this Buff Buff. I can do Giga Burst with anyone? Or no, wait, sorry. All must be pepped up. Oh, it just means me. Me and 3 others, we can do Giga Burst. Alright, cool. I'm not seeing Buff Buff anywhere, by the way. I don't like that. I don't like that I don't see Buff Buff. Because that means I don't even have the skills needed to cast Buff Buff. Shoot. It didn't say I needed Giga Gash. Unbridled Blade. Unbridled Blade? I don't even remember ever seeing Unbridled Blade as a skill. Unbridled Blade? Like, no wonder I can't do it. I don't even remember ever seeing an Unbridled Blade skill. In other words, it must be one of the question marks over here that I have yet to unlock. One of them must be the Unbridled Blade. The only thing I can think of. It has to be one of the question marks, which... Yay! I'll have to level grind to get myself enough points to unlock whichever one has Unbridled Blade. How fun!